The Ravens may be on a bye week this week, but that doesn't stop us from competing here on the Ravens Rundown. We are in the midst of a sub-battle with the AFC North rival Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh Steelers Talk, hosted by the very goofy-looking Jack Sperry. And I would love nothing more than to beat Jack Sperry. And that guy's like 6'7", and he probably weighs like $110 at the most. Let's go ahead and just stuff him in a locker and kind of keep him there and put the Ravens flock in full force. We're behind right now. Got to catch up. I don't want to be losing to Goofy Jack and everybody there at Steelers Talk. So subscribe to the channel if you love the Baltimore Ravens for daily Baltimore Ravens news and rumors right here in one place, right here on the Ravens Rundown. You have questions? I have answers, and you are in luck. This is a mailbag edition of the Ravens Rundown. Tyler Jones here with you. Happy to have you with us, where we scour the comment section to see what you guys have had to say about your favorite team, and I'll react to these comments here. Proof that we do read the comments here on Ravens Rundown. Let's start with this first one from EC. EC writes, Ravens football is back. Great defense. Run game solid. And Lamar being Lamar. Pass game still needs some work, though. Missed some open receivers. Time to start the Super Bowl run in high gear. So, EC, I like what you had to say there. There's a lot to take away. Defense looks a world better than it did to begin the year. And we'll talk more about that later. Run game is solid. You don't have a great running back right now. There isn't somebody there that, is going to rush for, 100 yards every game. That's just not going to happen. Lamar's your leading rusher, but at least you have a couple of different good backs. Lamar, I'll say this, what I like about Lamar, besides how well that he's played, one thing in particular the last couple of weeks, he's doing a much better job of taking care of the football. Pass game sure needs some work. Could add a receiver option or two potentially, but as far as the Super Bowl run goes, I think in the AFC, Buffalo's your favorite, Kansas City's number 2, but the Ravens are right there. They are right there in contention to compete for the Super Bowl. I think that they are right now the third best team in the AFC, and they're right there within striking distance of the other two as far as I'm concerned. So you tell me, is Baltimore a Super Bowl threat? Is this a team that has a shot realistically to end up in the Super Bowl this year in Glendale, Arizona? If you think they are a Super Bowl threat, type Y for yes. If not, type in for no. Let me know in the comment section below. You might get an ad break. If so, take advantage of it. And tell me if you believe that the Ravens are a Super Bowl threat or not. Romeo U writes, why pick up Fuller when he's unsigned for a reason? D-Rob can step up. So what Romeo's referring to is Will Fuller. We had mentioned in a video within the last couple days of possible free agent targets for the Ravens at the wide receiver position that Will Fuller could be a possibility if they were not able to land OBJ. And, Demarcus Robinson. I've seen a lot of Demarcus Robinson over the years when I covered the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City when I lived there. And the thing about D-Rob, and Ravens fans are starting to see it too, is that the D-Rob experience, it's a roller coaster. There are highs, and then there are lows. And the highs are great, and the lows are really bad. You cannot count on Demarcus Robinson. Can he step up? Yeah. I mean, when he's on and can be a really good football player. But I can't trust D-Rob if you're talking about making a Super Bowl run, which this team has aspirations of. They wouldn't have brought in Roquan Smith if they didn't think they could get there. I can't trust D-Rob to be my number 2 receiver if I'm serious about making a legit run at this point. So Demarcus Robinson, he's fine to be your number 4 receiver, but number 2, a little concerning there. But I get where you're coming from, Romeo. Next question, this one comes from Matt. Matt writes in, Matt H. The Ravens need to sign OBJ to make it over the hill. Could they make it there without him? Maybe. Can they win the big game with him? Absolutely, it would improve our chances, and OBJ's attitude has changed a lot. We as fans also deserve to know what Lamar looks like with a true number one talent. So I don't think OBJ is the number one anymore. I think OBJ is a solid number two, and he would be a great number three potentially. But you look at this Ravens offense, he would jump right in and be one of the top two receivers in the Ravens offense for sure. I like the idea of bringing in OBJ. I think he earned himself a lot of street cred by the way that he handled things with that Los Angeles Rams team, that he was able to push what happened with Baker Mayfield and all of that aside. That was all a big deal for OBJ to be able to do that. But even with all that said, the issue that still has not gone away here is the salary situation. I don't know where that money is going to come from with the salary cap of $3.5 million if you can move enough pieces out of the way to bring OBJ in. It'd be nice to have him, but it seems like a long shot at this point. So, scale it for me. Let's play the percentages now. How likely is it the Ravens sign OBJ? I would put it at less than 10% right now. And maybe that's all they need is 10% at this point. But that seems like a reach just because of the way things are structured in Baltimore right now. Does he want to play for a discount with the Ravens? I doubt that, but we'll see. Scale it for me in the comments section. How likely is it that the Ravens sign OBJ 1 through 100? Today's show is sponsored by Established Titles. Established Titles is a fun and novel way to preserve the natural woodlands of Scotland while helping global reforestation efforts. It is a project based on a historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lairds or lords and ladies in English. Title packs give you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land with a unique plot number on a private estate in Eddleston, Scotland, and on an official certificate with a crest. We plant a tree with every order and with global charities, 1 tree planted, and trees for the future to support global reforestation efforts. You could officially include the title Lord or Lady on your credit card, plane tickets, dating profiles, and more. Makes for a great last-minute gift. The first 200 people purchasing a title pack using my link will effectively be next to my plot within a few minutes of walking distance. Depending on how many of you want to become a Lord or Lady, we can build our own little Ravens rundown kingdom together. Established Titles is actually running a massive early Black Friday sale right now with discounts up to 80% off. Plus, if you use the code CHAT, you can get an additional 10% off. Go to establishedtitles.com/chat to get your gifts now and help support us here at the Ravens Rundown. We would greatly appreciate it. Get yours today, establishedtitles.com/chat. Got time for a couple more questions here. This one comes from Gerald. Gerald writes, Benjamin Victor played Monday night. He's 6'4", with the ability to grab 50-50 balls. I would try to get him more involved, and who knows, maybe we have a diamond. I think it's got diamond in the rut there with Benjamin Victor. Benjamin Victor, undrafted player a couple of years ago out of the Ohio State. I'm not putting my stock into an undrafted player that from a couple of years ago that just hasn't seen the field a whole lot, quite frankly. Maybe he can, but I haven't seen anything otherwise at this point to prove that Benjamin Victor is the answer to this Ravens receiving core right now. Last one from Adam. Adam78 says, Macdonald, referring to Mike Macdonald, the defensive coordinator for the Ravens, in his defensive system deserved credit. Since week 5, Baltimore has had a top 5 defense and only giving up an average of about 18 points per game. I am old enough to remember when Rex Ryan, week 2, called out Mike Macdonald and this defense and how bad they were after that Dolphins performance. And, Mike Macdonald took a lot of flack. And that defense did not look good early on the season. But they have improved week by week. Even when Marcus Williams went down, this team has still showed up and delivered and gotten better as a whole on that side of the football. Credit where credit's due. Mike Macdonald's done a really good job, and the Ravens find themselves here in good shape with the defense getting hot at the right time. So I like what I've seen there, Adam. That's a very good point. So are you buying or selling the Ravens defense? Is this here to stay, or are we going to see the old defense we saw at the beginning of the year? Let me know in the comments section if you're all in on the Ravens defense as they stand right now. If you are, If you're buying this Ravens defense, type B for buy. If not, type S for sell. As always, you can interact with me, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, at Tyler Jones Live, talking about your Baltimore Ravens on those social media platforms, and I'll see you next time here on the Ravens Rundown.